How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Perfect Reload. My name is Steve, and today we are checking out Summer Games Fest. I'm sorry, Summer Game. I keep adding that S. Summer Game Fest 2023. This is Jeff Keighley's event. Last year's event announced some pretty big stuff, so I'm looking forward to seeing what we have today. Thankfully, I have not been spoiled because I couldn't watch this live. It was during my work day, so I had to, maintain radio silence until I'm getting around to watching it. But I am very much looking forward to this. I can tell, from the title there, Mortal Kombat 1 and Fortnite Wilds. We already knew about Mortal Kombat 1. Fortnite, I'm not really interested in, so that doesn't, it's no spoiler to me or anything like that. But yeah, there's no E3 this year, which is, kind of a big change. So this is kind of the central show, I guess you would say, outside of, publishers and developers, personal shows. So far this year, we've already had the Sony showcase, which I thought was a little bit lacking. This coming weekend is Microsoft showcase. And then Monday is Ubisoft. Capcom has an event next week. But this one kind of finds itself kind of smack dab in the middle. It's a third party showing. So, who knows what we're going to see here. So yeah, I guess, no further ado needed. Let's hop into it. Let's see what we got. What do you got, Keighley? What are you bringing me? I don't know how long this is. The stream is still going, but the show is done, so I'm not sure.
Awards, Jeff Keighley.
Yay! Look at that jacket. I don't think I could ever be a sport coat and sneaker guy.
We are in person, and today we've got a look at what's next in video games for you. We are live here in Los Angeles at YouTube Theater, and it feels so good to be in person with a live fan audience for the first time ever. Welcome, everybody.
I wonder how much they charge for tickets to something like this.
When I started Summer Game Fest back in 2020 from a spare bedroom, I never imagined it would grow into this. Today, the video game industry has come together to show you what's next. This is a cross-industry showcase, meaning no matter where you play games, I hope you'll discover a new game to put on your wish list. The landscape of video game events has certainly changed over the past few years, but one thing hasn't.
First half of this year has been absolutely loaded. So I'm curious to see what happens with the back half.
About the future.
Obviously, we know about some heavy hitters like Starfield, Spider-Man.
Play of Mortal Kombat 1.
I would say at this point, Mortal Kombat has really become so popular again that it is a big title.
2, the reveal of Fortnite's next season, and yes, we do have a very special grand finale that you're not going to want to miss. All I'll say
Kojima's
right now.
back.
But let's get right to the games and gameplay. The first reveal is something you're not expecting, which makes it that much more exciting. Here we go.
What we got? Lay it on me. Prince of Persia. All right. This actually looks pretty cool. Kind of cell shaded. So I assume probably at the Ubisoft event on Monday we'll get more of this.
The prince has been kidnapped.
Hopefully they don't just run the same trailer twice.
All hope rests with us, the Immortals, to rescue him and save the Empire. But we weren't prepared for what was coming next.
Outside of maybe renting one of them, I don't think I played any of that, Prince of Persia reboot stuff. That was that even... I know it was 360 era. Did they even do one before that? Was there one that was PS2? I think there might have been, because I think there was a GameCube one. I remember playing the original on PC and thinking it was pretty cool, but I'm not sure if I ever touched any of those. I say newer ones, but I mean, God, they're 2 decades old or close to it at this point. I think returning to the side-scrolling thing is cool. Gameplay looks tight. All right. This looks like a I don't want to jump the gun too soon, but I mean, this looks like a very well polished,
Times of
like
darkness,
this is out soon type
hope
thing.
is the only thing that keeps us fighting. I will fulfill my destiny.
Like I dig
and
the
save the kingdom.
I dig the presentation of this. Lost Crown. Okay, cool. Oh wow, so longer than I thought, but all right. Something to start the year off with. You know, why not? Coming to the older systems. I'm actually kind of surprised about that.
There's a little surprise. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is coming.
But I mean, that's not like a graphical powerhouse kind of thing. So that, you know, going to the older systems, I think is still, that still makes sense.
Huge boss fights, and of course, incredible platforming, puzzles, and animation, bringing a modern take on the legendary franchise. You'll be able to see more at Ubisoft Forward, streaming on Monday as part of Summer Game Fest. All right, let's move along to another iconic video game franchise that just celebrated 30 years. That's right.
Mortal Kombat.
It's time for Mortal Kombat 1.
Give it to me. I'm all in on fighting games this year. Street Fighter's just the taste.
On this one.
The dealers got me coming back.
It has been 4 years since MK11, and ever since, Ed Boon and the team at NetherRealm have been hard at work on the most ambitious MK yet that reboots the series into a new era timeline. And it's coming this September. Everyone has been asking,
I want new
look
characters.
like? Who's on the roster? How do
I
the
want new
cameo fighters
characters.
work? Well, now it is time for combat. No spoilers, but this video is literally insane. Here is an extended first look at the story, gameplay, and yes, of course, the fatalities of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I mean, the
1.
fatalities,
Let's do it.
you know, they're not a secret anymore. You know, there's like, they put like all of them out on YouTube in advance and stuff. It kind of takes away a little bit of the mystery. It's a little disappointing, you know? Oh, there we go.
I've had enough of you. Then go before I put you down. Fight.
So this is like more modern than I thought. Because I mean, that's a television. Because the initial trailer looked like they were going back in time.
You have proven worthy of joining.
Maybe they go through
There are
multiple
other champions
multiple
I must
periods.
gather.
What do you want?
Johnny, it's my family blade. Sento's mine.
They said
And I
Johnny
won't
Cage
give
is
it
a
up
cameo
without a fight.
character, so can you actually play as him, or is this somebody else? Because I thought they put out a thing saying that you can't play as the cameo characters. They are unplayable assist characters. But this, I mean, this looks like Johnny Cage to me. That looked pretty cool. It's kind of weird, though. I mean, seeing just like two dudes in regular clothes fighting in Mortal Kombat.
Who are you again?
Lord Liu Kang, protector of Earthrealm, god of fire.
So is he not evil anymore? Oh, there's Jax wearing his like MK2 outfit. So that looks like an assist, like the cameo character. So he kind of runs in, does a move, leaves. It's kind of like, I guess maybe the best analog without having my hands on this would be like when you call in a teammate in Marvel.
Experience I lack, I make up for in heart.
Is this a non-god rated? I'm curious who this guy with the sword is. He looked like he had some neat moves. That was like MK1 Kano.
If your disease becomes
Melina?
known, you will be banished.
Yeah.
I only
And
want
Katana.
what's best
Okay.
for you.
Or do you secretly covet my throne?
Katana was always fun to play with. Is that Goro or just one of his species? Katana was never like a main, but I always had some fun playing with Katana. That was Kung Lao as a cameo. Oh, Striker! Yeah, boy. So there must be like cameo X-ray moves that you can trigger because a lot of this is, you know, we're seeing a lot 2-on-1. I like that they're adding a new dynamic to the game. You know, they could have played it safe and just relied on that story mode being a draw, but I mean, they are really definitely putting an emphasis on we are making changes to the way this game plays. These are definitely very gruesome fatalities. Like classic Sub-Zero, all right. It's like an interesting take on his original fatality. Yeah. I'm in. September's rough, man. Especially if like Spider-Man comes out in September. That was like one of the weird things with that Sony showcase. They did not announce that Spider-Man release date. They said that there was going to be an announcement coming soon. I don't know when that is, but
so honored to
it's got to be soon.
Summer Game Fest, one of our industry's greatest creators, a man who has been
Ed
loyal
Boon
to the
on
same
stage.
franchise and fan base for more than 3 decades. Please join me in welcoming to Summer Game Fest the creator of Mortal Kombat, Ed Boon.
We found John Tobias.
Congratulations. They love you. All right. Well, Ed, first of all, thank you for that incredible world premiere. We got to see all of the gameplay of MK1, and everyone just wants to know more about this because, first of all, this is it's MK1, right? It went from
It's crazy to think how relevant Ed Boon still is.
Yeah,
you know, a lot of those,
I don't know how many
like,
people have seen the
quote unquote rockstar developers in the 90s, like Romero,
like, you know,
Carmack,
guy,
like they've
right?
all
And
gone on to other things or
created a
faded
brand new
away.
universe. And this universe, this is why we're calling it Mortal Kombat 1, is because this is the beginning of a new timeline. A number of these characters you've seen before, but they're told in a completely different story. And so Sub-Zero and Scorpion are brothers now, and there's all these things that were rivalries before are now allies, and so mixing the whole thing up. So we're just kind of rebooting, and that's what the 1 is for.
Well, it looks incredible. Everything we saw there was, you know, in-game gameplay. The cinematics look incredible. I know the team has been working for 4 years on this, but the thing we got to talk about are these cameos because we saw some pretty amazing stuff there.
Please explain.
Tell us, how does that work? You obviously have your sort of your main, you know, character that you'll pick, and then I know you also have a separate kind of cameo menu, so you pick sort of a pair when you start the game?
Yeah, normally in a fighting game, you'll see
it's Kenshi. Okay.
a roster,
Jeez, that makes way more sense.
where you select your character. After you do that, there's a second roster of characters, which are a whole new, completely different fighters that are the cameo fighters, and these fighters actually
Jax,
they will
Sonya,
join the
Kano.
fight, but
A lot of blank squares there.
Yeah, so it's kind of like imagine yourself with Sub-Zero, but you have some of Jack's moves, and you can call him out. You can do it multiple times, as you saw in the gameplay. You know, so you can piece.
That is a weird-looking Kano, man.
These two characters, all
Looks
the
like
characters can be combined.
Borg Picard.
With all the cameo fighters, and that's where you see. That's where the player's kind of imagination comes in, and they can actually customize it for what they like seeing.
Man, their graphical quality is so
how
nice.
does that work? So you're in gameplay, you have.
Oh, that's a
main,
cool
you have your cameo.
transition.
How do you summon them? Is it time based? Like how often do they come in? It's not a tag team thing, right? Where
Exactly. And you're basically summoning them. It's just one button push is basically summoning, but they have a variety. So you can go.
Okay, so it's on the
push
bumper.
That button with towards, and it'll do a different move. Push it with down, it'll do a different move. And so the combination.
Oh, I see. So you can bring them in a combo. Almost.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And you see there's like a meter up on top, which is basic. That'll limit it, so you can't obviously fire them indefinitely, but you can call them pretty much whenever you want, and they have, you know, like in the middle of a combo, they'll have a lot of you know, basically a whole arsenal of their moves. So Sonya, you saw come out there. Sometimes you'll see them appear twice.
You can use them to
there.
break a combo too.
So time-based, they come out, and then obviously as you go through, you revealed some of them there, but is it a different set of characters that'll be in the cameos? Are there some repeats from the main roster? How will that work?
Yeah. Some of the characters are going to be available as cameos as well as the main
so that clears that up. That makes way more sense now, because that was kind of weird. It's like, yeah, we're not going to put Johnny Cage in.
But a lot of our cameo fighters are kind of like nods back to our first game. So you'll notice Sonya and Kano and Jax are in their kind of older costumes. And so there's a lot of that novelty. We have a lot of like really surprise ones. I think you guys saw Goro.
Yes, Goro popped in
there. Okay, so it was Goro.
So there's a lot of like kind of really digging into the old Mortal Kombat games as far as getting.
He was definitely not dressed like he was in the original Mortal Kombat,
really
though.
The novelty of it. We really
he almost looked like he was wearing like
feel,
tactical military
kind of
gear.
The old games.
Well, speaking of 90-year-old games, let's talk. You confirmed, I think, or it's at least known that Jean-Claude Van Damme is actually going to be in.
That's
this
a way to
game
pronounce
as
that.
Johnny Cage, right? Is that true?
Yes.
That was people don't know the story. I mean, Bloodsport was such an inspiration for Mortal Kombat, so he finally is now part of it.
It's a huge first full circle moment. You know, the first Mortal Kombat game, we originally wanted to be Van Damme, the video game, and that never really worked out. So I can't tell you how many times over the last 30 years we've tried to get him. You know, we were this close, like 4 or 5 times, and so finally we got him, and he's doing the voices too. Wow. So you're going to hear
Jean-Claude,
his voice doing Johnny Cage lines and stuff like that. We're really excited about it.
Wow. Well, I know the team has been working so hard in Chicago to build this through COVID, and it's coming out in September, so we don't have to wait long, right?
That's right. This has been a very difficult secret to keep over the last 4 years, and so but we could not be more excited in terms of getting players' hands on it. And, you know, throughout the summer, we're going to be showing a lot more content, a lot more characters, a lot more cameo characters, you know, so there's a lot of reveals that are coming up.
Amazing. Well, Ed, thank you so much for giving us the first look at MK1. As you said, this weekend people will be playing it, press and media, so we'll be seeing lots more coverage, lots more characters to reveal on the main roster and cameos. Ed Boon, thank you so much. First look at Mortal Kombat. Awesome. Thanks so much. Amazing. So excited about that one. All right. Next up, it's been a fun couple weeks for action RPG fans with the release of Diablo 4, which is truly fantastic.
I think I am caving in and picking up Diablo this weekend.
Is Path of Exile 2 from Grinding Gear Games, who have faithfully been updating and patching the original PoE since its release in 2013.
That's cool.
We haven't seen anything on the sequel in over 2 years, but that changes right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember this getting announced and then just, hearing nothing about it.
From Path of Exile 2, a sequel that pushes the engine and gameplay to a new level.
All right.
Huh? Where are the guards? Hey, you! What's going on?
I mean, obviously these games are, you know, this genre is all kind of samey, but boy, oh boy, if you didn't know, you'd say, oh, they're showing Diablo footage. Especially with the sorcerer and sorceress in Diablo 4 having, you know, you can choose to have a huge emphasis on the lightning attacks, which look very similar to that. And also having the black and red. All right. Find out more July 28th. Is that July 28th Gamescom?
There's more coming in July. Last week marked the release of Street Fighter VI, a game we featured last year at Summer Game Fest. Well, the team at Capcom has an important update to share with you right now.
What we got? Jax is coming. Oh, it's Metal Ryu. Robot Ryu. Oh, okay.
I am the advanced artificial intelligence Leviathan.
Oh, they got Mass Effect in here.
To Bikitoa Island.
Oh, and System Shock. I'm sorry. Is this Exo Primal? They're adding Ryu to Exo Primal? Is that what this is? Okay. Yeah. Well, we gotta try and sell copies of Exo Primal any way we can. So that wasn't really anything to do with Street Fighter. That was an advertisement for Exo Primal.
Street Fighter facing off against a dinosaur probably wasn't on your.
Because if we tell you that we're about to talk about Exo Primal, everybody just starts looking at their phone.
Exo Primal collab will launch in the fall with the game coming out on July 14th.
I didn't realize that game was coming out on Game Pass.
That may actually not be
That's
the
a
craziest
smart
collaboration
idea
on the show today. Check this out.
There's nothing more powerful than imagination.
Okay. That voice sounded vaguely familiar.
The fabric of reality.
Oh, is this the Nicolas Cage Dead by Daylight? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we already knew about that. That got announced a few weeks ago.
That's right. Nicolas Cage is coming to Dead by Daylight in July. I mean, I don't know how these things happen, but
we're making a Bringing Out the Dead video
I
game.
The easiest way to find out.
John Goodman ambulance simulator.
Right to the source.
Oh shit! They got Nick Cage.
Bold creative choices have earned him an Academy Award.
All right,
and a few
yeah.
memes on the internet across more than 4 decades.
That's why I had to come out and be like, "What the fuck are video games?"
Join me in welcoming to Summer Game Fest, Nicolas Cage.
This is like when they got Pacino last year for the Video Game Awards. Dude had no fucking clue what was going on. No, that's a Nick Cage suit if I've seen one.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Happy to meet you.
Nick, I gotta say, welcome to the video game world.
Oh, wow, yeah, thank you. I'm so happy to be invited to your very, very cool club, everybody.
Finally, I mean, I gotta say, this is such a crazy, unexpected collaboration. I gotta understand, how did this come about? I mean, some people be like, oh, maybe
they called my agent and said they were gonna write me a check, and I was like, okay.
I mean, how does this happen?
Well, it's a museum of horror, right? Yes. And when I make movies, one of my favorite genres is horror. And in this, and in that genre, there's a character, a murderous ghost named Sadako, who I think is amazing. And she made an appearance in this game, so that was good enough for me.
Okay. That's what, yeah, I mean, that's what's fun is you're playing one of the survivors in this game, and it's cool that, you know, it really is this museum of horror. Michael Myers, you said all these different characters all coming together. And you play yourself, or who do you play?
So I play this heightened, exaggerated version of a film actor named Nick Cage.
So myself.
He's going to a location thinking he's making a movie, and instead he wakes up in the fog. And in the fog, he's surrounded by crows and serial killers, and it's rather amusing. And there's something about it that I think, as a survivor, is like a bonding experience. It's a bit like hide and go seek. You have your 3 other teammates who are survivors with you, and it's teamwork. You're working together to pull through, and I like that. And so that was a large reason for wanting to do it as well, that feeling of bonding.
You know, this right here, having him come out and him talking, this goes to show you how much of a fucking pro Nick Cage is, because Nick Cage doesn't know anything about video games, but he is informed on the product that he is a part of.
I want you to know that you're
huge credit to him.
That we're fused. And so it was important to me that everything I do, everything I say, from the scream to the grunt, down to the most minimal, exasperated expression of a sigh, whatever it is, it's my voice, so that we are fused.
All right.
I'll fuse with you, Nick.
Cage. I love it. I mean, this is so fun. This game, as you said, is such an awesome kind of, collaboration with so many different characters. For you, I mean, how did you find out about Dead by Daylight? Do you know much about the video game
Somebody
world?
very important in my family is a Dead by Daylight enthusiast,
okay.
and that really put the hook in, pun intended. See, Dead by Daylight to me was an opportunity to branch out. I've never been invited into this space before.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for new adventures. So this to me was like, wow, I can make a whole new audience, meet a whole new audience, and branch out and go on this Dead by Daylight adventure. I didn't say, it took me nothing but a split second to say yes. And speaking about split seconds, excuse me, what I noticed, excuse me.
I'm developing split second too.
Allergies. What I noticed was that every move you make when you're doing this, when you're in the gaming space, it's timed down to the split second. It's a very immersive experience when you're acting out in this space, because every move, every grunt, every sigh you make has to be timed perfectly with the gamer's moves. So that was something that I learned from this, and I'm always looking to learn something.
Well, we love having you in the video game world. We want to see Nick Cage in more games.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Nick, thank you so much. Hopefully the first of many. Nicolas Cage, great to see you, man. Awesome. There you go. Lock it in. Now, for all of you who want to play Nick Cage in Dead by Daylight, the chapter officially comes out on July 25th on PC and console, but PC players can try it earlier by downloading the player test build on July 5th. And here's an exclusive first look at Nicolas Cage in Dead by Daylight.
I have never played this game, so I understand what it is, but this is just like so bizarre.
Damn right I made it.
All right.
Anything goes here at Summer Game Fest. All right, thank you very much, Nick. Now, lately we've been seeing an incredible number of video game adaptations, but back in 2019, The Witcher on Netflix, inspired by the Witcher book series, showed the potential of well-done adaptations, and later this month, Season 3, Volume 1 arrives, and now it's time for the world premiere of the trailer, introduced by Henry Cavill and the cast.
Do we need to have like TV show trailers in this thing? I don't know. I kind of hate this stuff. You know, it was like really bizarre. You know, I understand why they did it. Like Sony put in the Gran Turismo trailer in their showcase. I don't know.
Get ready to watch the world premiere of our brand new trailer for Season 3 of The Witcher.
Thanks for tuning in to the Summer Games Fest and enjoy the trailer.
I think this is the last. This is the last Cavill season because I think he's replaced after this.
Neutrality. It won't get you.
I never got into the show. I played Witcher 2 at one point. I might have even played Witcher 1. I didn't particularly enjoy either one of them. I remember picking up Witcher 3 and it was just a little bit too dense for me at the time. I think I played 10, 12 hours, which in a game like that is like barely scratching the surface. When this show came out, I think I watched the first episode because my thought process at the time was, well, you know, I haven't read the books, I haven't played the games really, but I liked Game of Thrones, so I'm willing to give a fantasy story a shot, because I really don't like fantasy as a genre. And I don't know, there just wasn't anything that really grabbed me at the first episode. I don't know, maybe someday I'll play. I mean, Witcher 3 is on my list. I would like to play it at some point and give it a real shot, more so than I did the first time.
You sure about this?
Are you?
Because I think part of my problem with The Witcher 3 was I didn't buy that game and play it necessarily because I wanted to buy it and play it. I think I just kind of wanted to be informed of the discussion that was going in at the time. Like a lot of people I worked with were playing it. You know, every podcast I was listening to, they were talking about it. And I kind of just wanted to have some context. And I think that that's a really poor mindset to go into a video game purchase. Although that is kind of the reason why I'm buying Diablo 4 is just... I put off buying Diablo 4 because I'm not thrilled with the live service stuff. I don't like live service games. I always feel like I'm being rushed. I always feel like I'm missing things. But man, I'm such a huge Diablo fan that it's, you know, once it came out, people started playing it, talking about it, saying like, you know, you can just enjoy the game single player. You really don't have to worry about that stuff. It kind of loosened me up a little bit. And after watching some gameplay this week, I was like, man, I think I really am kind of missing out right now. So I think maybe tomorrow after work, I'll run out and pick up a copy.
And they're like, no, please don't hurt me. And then wow, fangs, just like a boatload of fangs, all up in your business.
Man, I actually haven't had Netflix in a while. These days, I only get it when Cobra Kai has a new season. It's just too expensive, you know? It just really is. Right? Witch Hunt. This looks like that Oddworld first-person shooter. Just instead of like the Wild West theme, it's like a dark fantasy. I know, to me, this looks like the most boring Witchfire. Yeah, I mean, this just looks like the most boring thing on Earth to me. We actually gonna get a new PSVR 2 game that did not get announced at the showcase a couple weeks ago? Or is this Crossfire? So, I mean, in reality, they're not in the same house, so they were just nodding to an empty wall. Yeah, okay, yeah, Crossfire. Okay. Yeah, they showed a different trailer at the Sony thing. We're getting monitor ads now? Keely's got to pay the bill somehow. Oh, it's the OLED G9. You know, seriously, getting an OLED TV has changed everything for me. I'm still not comfortable getting an OLED monitor with burn-in the way it is. I am paranoid about burn-in on my OLED TV. I turn that thing off every time I leave the room. It's another 3-person team-based thing. There's been a lot of those getting announced.
No turning back after this. You sure?
I think that's what the new marathon is. That oh god, what was it? Fair Games shown at the Sony thing. That's like a 3-person thing. This looks like a 3-person thing. We're gonna get overloaded with these things. I'd love to get into a game like this. I don't have anybody to play games with. And you know, that kind of sucks, but you know, it's just one of those things where it's like, man, some of these games look interesting to me, but I don't want to play with random people, and I don't have anybody to play with, so I'm just never gonna play them. Remnant 2. All right. I vaguely remember Remnant.
All right, we have much more Summer Game Fest to come, including a first look at the gameplay of Alan Wake 2, the world premiere of the new season of Fortnite, Call of Duty Season 4, and maybe a few more surprises for you. As we go through today's reveals, use the hashtag gaming on TikTok to react to the news. And we want to welcome everyone co-streaming the show live on TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, and other platforms. For those of you on Twitch, we also have a special Warframe Twitch drop, a free Steinax Warframe for watching more than 30 minutes of the show. Now, speaking of surprises, another legendary gaming hero is set to return later this year in a brand new game built from the ground up in a style that I think is going to get this fan base and longtime fans of video games very excited. Here's another Summer Game Fest global game announcement. New thrills with a classic feel.
Oh. Oh. Is it a new game or a remake? Because this looks like a new game. Okay, brand new adventure. This looks a little generic-ish, but, you know, certainly not bad by any stretch. Tails and Knuckles. Pink one. My biggest problem with Sonic has always been that just loss of momentum. If they could ever figure that out and solve that, I'd dive right into all of them. Oh, that's cool. Interesting. got a couple of twists to it, you know. Sonic Superstars. Exclusive Amy Rose skin. Is that Swiper?
How about that? A new standard for 2D.
And to talk about it live from prison, Yuji Naka.
Legacy fans alike. This past April, Honkai Star Rail launched, and as you're about to see, the game is bringing an exciting new character to space fantasy RPGs. However, we don't just have a new peak for current players, but also for those awaiting the game's release on PlayStation.
Yeah, I wanted to check this, check Honkai Star Rail out. I totally forgot to download it on my phone. I don't really like playing games on my phone, especially like stuff like this. So when it comes out on PlayStation, I think I'd be willing to give it a shot. Yeah.
Mission 1 accomplished. Where's our next stop? I can't wait.
I'm not a big anime manga person, but I do like the look of this game. It's got a clean style, you know, to me, and obviously, you know, I'm not educated enough on this stuff. All anime kind of looks the same to me. All of these games kind of all look the same to me. But I don't know, I think this is pleasant, you know, to look at. I've just never understood the medium of manga and anime where it's just okay and almost expected that you're going to follow essentially the same style as everything else in your medium. It's just kind of odd. I don't know. Like, so many of these characters are just interchangeable.
Can you let me have some fun this time? Time for a buzz. Extra speed, too slow.
Q4. Okay, so longer than I thought. I thought it was going to be like they were going to say it's out today or tomorrow or something.
Inspired by the story of Pinocchio, Liza P is a Soulsborne-like game.
Yeah, they've been talking about this game for a little while now. I think this got announced about this time last year, right?
Wondering exactly when, we have news to share with you on its release with this brand new trailer.
This has got to be like a fall this year kind of thing, I guess.
Geppetto's puppet. We need your help.
Interesting.
Je t'ai rencontré simplement et tu n'as rien fait pour chercher à me.
You know, with all these kind of classic characters like this getting into the public domain, we had like, what, 2 Pinocchio movies last year? That weird horror movie that was Winnie the Pooh. I think like Steamboat Willie enters the public domain like next year. I want to see like Winnie the Pooh post-apocalyptic RPG. Tears of Eeyore.
Je te fais parfois, mais je reviens quand même. C'est plus fort que moi.
Fall this year. Let's see.
Listen, pal. Nice landing, but let's not make it a habit.
Oh wow, same day as Mortal Kombat. Man, September is really, oh boy. Oh, the demo's out.
That's right. A
I don't think I'm gonna play
Lies
it.
of P is now available across PlayStation, Xbox,
I just
and
don't
PC.
see
Check it
myself
out and prepare for
checking
the
that
release on
out.
September 19th. Now it's time for the reveal of a visually stunning new game based on a classic manga with a story and world created by one of the most celebrated anime artists of all time. This is one of those games that I feel lucky we get to reveal for the first time here at Summer Game Fest. And I think you'll be pretty hyped once you see the gameplay, all built in Unreal Engine 5. Here we go.
That guy was pumped about Unreal 5 in the audience. It's like cell shaded. Sounds like people in the audience know what this is immediately. Okay. I know what Dragon Ball is. This is interesting. This kind of looks like a, I don't mean like graphically, but this looks like, you know, those kind of like action games like a Jack or a Ratchet Clank, you know, PS2 era stuff. Cool. Bandai's putting it out, all right.
Sandland, get ready to become an unlikely hero.
And here to talk about it, Nicolas Cage.
That's coming from Bandai Namco, and we're excited to see more of it soon. Independent games are such an important part of the industry, and one thing that's very important to us at Summer Game Fest is supporting those creators as well. After the live show, stay tuned for Day of the Devs from iam8bit and Double Fine with some incredible indie game reveals. Now, one of the biggest independent publishers is Annapurna Interactive. And later this month, as part of Summer Game Fest, they'll be revealing a number of ambitious new projects. Let's see how many you can figure out in this little tease.
Stray. Outer Worlds. Neon White. That game. Are these just games coming to different systems? The game with the two women in the car, I remember that looking interesting. I don't think that ever came out. Okay. June 29th.
I wonder what that was at the end. We'll find out later this month. All right, next, we're
Outer
stepping
Worlds
into the
2.
world of Throne and Liberty, a free-to-play PC and console MMORPG from NCSoft and Amazon Games with an always-changing environment, massive scale, PvPvE, and the ability to transform into creatures to battle across land, sea, and air. Here's a look at Throne and Liberty.
Our guiding star has shattered. Its shards scattered across the world. An ancient evil.
Ever since they had that glowing tree in Elden Ring, I think I've seen at least a dozen video game trailers with glowing trees.
You must find them. Harness their power. And put down this threat once and for all.
Yeah, this just screams generic. I hate to be so negative about this stuff, but man, like, how many of these games can we possibly put out on the market? Like, everything about this just screams like we bought all these assets from an asset store. We paid $30 for a template for our text treatments. You know, we followed a YouTube tutorial with After Effects to make the motion graphics. Like, I don't know, this stuff is just so cookie cutter. There's just too much of this stuff out there, and I just don't get who it's aimed at.
Looks great. I also want to say hello
doesn't.
to everybody watching on Steam right now. I'm sorry we don't have any free Steam Decks for you right now, but on June 19th, Steam Next Fest does return, giving fans a chance to try out hundreds of new in-development games. One of them is the free-to-play medieval fantasy
Definitely
game, Warhaven.
pick up some demos for that. We've been doing that for the past couple.
Supernatural Immortals. Here's a new look.
And here's the 4th fantasy medieval looking game we've showed so far.
Cities rise and empires fall, but it's a war worth fighting. We're taking up our arms, hold the line up here.
This looks chivalry, for honor kind of thing. How many times are we going to see a character that either has a full Oni mask or that just bottom half Oni mask? Like, how many games are going to have that? This stuff is just, I hate to be so down and negative and be that kind of person in these things, but Jesus Christ. Like... And another super generic title that sounds like it took 5 seconds to come up with.
Hey, this is not.
Why can't
Is this that, was it Gang Beasts? Was that the name of that game that was like this? Party Animals. I remember this being announced at some point, but it's like reminiscent of that Gang Beast game, right? All right, September 20th. A lot of stuff happening that week.
Pilgrims, summer is coming, and with it, a lot of cool stuff will make its way to Dying Light Tuesday Human. Get ready for darker, more dangerous nights and roaming volatiles.
So I said they're still supporting this.
Rolling out with the next update in June. Then, right after that, we'll kick off an event season like you have never seen before. Trust me, for one of them, you will want to get your butt barbed wired. Very soon, you will get the deadliest summers today.
What's happening? Check the cameras, and there's nothing happening. Oh, we lose. What's going on with the stream here? There we go. Okay. What are you doing? Then this is just built into the new Samsung TVs. This gaming hub thing. I think gaming hub initially was Samsung's like little menu that would pop up that would allow you to like toggle some gaming specific features on your TV, like VRR, ALLM, you know, give you show if you're at like 120 hertz, stuff like that. So I guess they're just kind of tying that into branding, which makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
NeoCortex's right-hand guy in Season 1. Now it's time to change the topic and descend into madness. Joining me is a guy who was last on stage at the Game Awards 2021 to announce Alan Wake 2. He's come all the way from Finland. Please welcome from Remedy, Sam Lake.
Please welcome Max Payne.
Good to see you. Looking dapper as always.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, we are so excited because when you announced Alan Wake at the Game, or Alan Wake 2 at the Game Awards, you said 2023. We are in 2023. It's coming this October, and we are so excited about the Sam.
The gameplay, I know he said he's going to show the gameplay here, but that little taste of what we got a couple weeks ago, I mean, it looked like it played very different.
Quite a journey, yes. Yeah. Alan Wake 2 is Remedy's first survival horror game. We have two playable characters. It's a 50-50 split between them. They are on their own separate terrifying journeys through two different worlds, and yet it's all connected. And the player gets to switch between them at given points in the story as they choose.
Yeah, we saw, obviously, at the PlayStation event, you revealed Saga, the second character. Tell us a bit about her. She's in Bright Falls, and she's sort of living a narrative that Alan has written. Is that right?
Well, that's a good question to ask going into this. So, yes, we have Alan Wake, our title character, of course, trying to escape from the nightmare dimension of the dark place. Yes. And then we have Saga, our new hero, FBI agent, coming to the Pacific Northwest small town of Bright Falls, together with her partner, Alex Casey.
Okay. So how, and they're somehow linked in some way, right?
They are coming to investigate a series of ritualistic murders.
Okay.
And very quickly, the investigation turns into a nightmare when they discover pages of a horror story. Maybe written by a certain missing writer.
I get the feeling that this game might be a little bit too much for me as somebody that doesn't like horror games. But I really liked the concept of the original Alan Wake. I didn't play it, but I watched somebody play a large chunk of it, and it was cool. I don't know if it's quite for me, but man,
that sort of link. Tell us a bit about. You said
I want this game to be great. Like even if I don't end up playing it, I want it to be something really cool.
Sequences or orders, if you want, right?
Yeah, we go into the experience playing as Saga, and it's a sequel. But it's also a standalone experience. We are not expecting everybody to do homework if they have not.
It makes sense with how much of a delay it's been since the first game, even though they've done like that remaster and all that. Like that makes sense.
In this world, she will be going in very quickly. She has to learn to survive, and with that, all the players will be on that journey with her. And then we open up the experience so that you can hop to play Alan Wake in the dark place as he's trying to find his way out. And you can keep on playing as Saga in the Pacific Northwest as the investigation goes on. And you are free to switch between them. There are a lot of connection points in many surprising ways, but there is no right way to play through this. You can choose. You can go on as Alan all the way close to the end, or as Saga, or you can keep hopping between these two sides of it.
Well, you're always so good at kind of telling challenging, interesting narratives in unique ways. I mean, Remedy's always been known for that, and you especially, so we can't wait to see how these stories intertwine, I'm sure, throughout the experience. Today, though, I know you brought with you some gameplay of Saga's adventure. We're just going to see a raw segment of the game, right?
Yeah, raw gameplay for the first time ever. This is early on from the experience.
They're hyped, Sam. They're ready for it. So tell us, what are we going to see?
Supernatural forces of darkness have brought the murder victim, in this case, back to life as a monster. And Saga is outside Bright Falls at Cauldron Lake, trying to find him and stop
the initial trailer showed some of that cult stuff, and that looked really interesting.
Gameplay from Alan Wake 2. Thanks, Sam.
I'd like to see what they can do with that. This looks nice.
Sounds like somebody's home.
Well, it does say Deer Fest, so, you know, that makes sense. Yeah, that looks like it wasn't doing much. At least that was realistic. Reload after 2 shots. I mean, that's what every video game player on Earth does. A lot of shots. So I assume ammo will be fairly scarce, especially since he said it's survival horror. I want that deer to come back running the other way now. Machine gun up on the wall. Well, that's interesting.
The text on the heart is clearer now.
Tattooed heart.
Legible.
The wave crashed on the far side of the mirror.
Like I saw it in a dream.
All right, it's enough of a teaser.
This case with me, Anderson.
I think this is just the trailer that we've already seen.
Message.
It's for us.
We were all trapped in a horror story.
It says pre-order now.
The horror story wanted us
for
to
early access.
There's something I'm forgetting. Something important. Something's not right.
Cool.
A long time coming, but Alan Wake 2 looks incredible. Thank you to Sam and Remedy for that first look at gameplay. Now let's get a first look at the co-op campaign of Warhammer Space Marine 2 from Saber and Focus.
All right.
We're facing a Tyranid splinter fleet. They engaged us on 2
I played the first one of these. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed, what was the game that just came out a couple weeks ago I played?
There could be questions.
What was the name of that? It was that first-person shooter?
No, Captain.
Hammer Point, Hammer something.
Tyranids! My pledge is eternal service. Xenos inbound! Eviscerate this abomination!
This looks pretty good. I remember, you know, it's been a long time since I played that first Space Marine, and I get that it makes sense with like the armor that the characters weigh, but I remember that game just feeling very slow.
Open the gates. Care to see if we can slay more Xenos for the Chiron? I thought a piece of that statue would offer more sport. Hold them back, damn it! For Ultramar! For the Emperor!
Cool. Is that a statue that you can get? That's pretty neat. It's kind of interesting. My potatoes. This looks like that, oh, what was that? Yes, My Liege, Yes, My King, something like that. It came out a few years ago. Well, I don't think it was as involved as this. Yes, Your Grace. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. All right, cool. I played that game, that first one.
Beautiful indie game, Yes, Your Grace, Snowfall. Now it is time for another global game announcement, and this one comes from the minds of Saber Interactive, Focus Entertainment, and yes, horror master John Carpenter. It's a brand new world, a brand new story, and looks like a heck of a lot of fun. Check this out.
We gotta be ready. Nobody half-asses it this time. Ruby.
They're just casually sitting around listening to a cover of Bon Jovi.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Shot through the heart, and you're to blame. You give love a bad name.
Okay, all right. Just current systems and PC. We're definitely seeing more of that. It's going to be more and more common. I would say there'll be a few next year, but man, it's going to be, it's got to be it.
And Saber with Toxic Commando, that looks tons of fun. You guys think any of those zombies made it? I don't know. All right. Well, this August brings the long-awaited full 1.0 release of Baldur's Gate 3. And today, a new member is joining the cast. We're about to see the
Are we
reveal
getting J.K.
of
Simmons
Lord
on stage?
Emperor Gortash, the commander of a mechanical army of Steel Watchers. He's a second antagonist and is voiced by a familiar name.
Enver Gortash, swearest thou by Balduran's blade to defend the citizens of Baldur's Gate from enemies within and without?
Like an automaton?
You are soon to witness the people of Baldur's Gate granting me complete power over them.
John Cleese?
A new age is upon us.
Oh, Jason
Gods have
Isaacs,
mercy
okay.
on those who would stand in our way. A mad dog understands the yank of the leash on the hand of its master, but it cannot be an equal. You can be my equal. There's an old wisdom. A brittle alliance can never be mended. It can only break. I want to lead this city to glory.
He looks like one of those guys from that like mystery dating show, the one where you like showed nerds how to pick up women.
This city is mine. I'm not ready to call you enemy. What do you say? Shall we be allies?
I googled peacocking.
He said it was under control.
It isn't you I answer to, Gortash.
You know, with a lot of these games that we've seen so far getting like actual release dates, you know, we are definitely in for one hell of a year. I mean, this is
Ben tells me still for the
2023 might end up being like an all-timer.
This fall, Marvel Games and Insomniac are set to bring Spider-Man 2 exclusively to PlayStation 5. Sounds like you guys are a little hyped, so to tell us more is Brian Intihar, game director at Insomniac. Brian,
all right.
Thanks for coming by.
Are we getting like the release?
Well, Brian, thanks so much for stopping by. I know you got a lot of work to do.
It's a Friday. Okay, so that means Alan Wake's coming out on a Wednesday, Thursday?
We got our date. All right. Now let's take a look at Pal World, a multiplayer open world survival
We might
game where you have a friend and
might be
collect
taking the day off from work and streaming that one all day.
and also fight. In other words, it's kind of like Pokemon with guns. And then we're going to look at the Land of the Morning Light, a new expansion to Black Desert Online, which recreates the mythical folktales from Korea's Joseon dynasty, and some huge bosses too.
All right. Well, I am definitely relieved it is not coming out in a very, very crowded September. I think that is a very smart move on their end. Give Starfield its space. Give Mortal Kombat its space. There was something else today that was announced that was coming out middle of September as well. Definitely the right choice. But that's a crowded week though. What was it? It was okay. So it's Alan Wake, Spider-Man, and then there was that other game that was coming out the same day as Alan Wake, and something else coming out the day of. Okay, we might end up with some crowded weeks here. Have they? Let's see. Have they updated? Let's see here. Let's see if we have an updated release calendar. Pal World. Okay. Okay, so yeah, in October, so the 12th is Assassin's Creed Mirage. Then that Lords of the Fallen is coming out the 13th. Alan Wake 2 is the 17th. Endless Dungeon is the 19th. Spider-Man 2 is the 20th. And then Alone in the Dark game is the 25th. So the end of October, or middle to end of October, is pretty... It's pretty full. Jeez. I don't mean to ignore Black Desert, but I don't care about Black Desert. Jeez.
Our story is more than what hobbits and elves know.
Oh, are we getting Gollum 2?
We told it ourselves. With hammer and axe, we mine and scout. Across Middle-earth, delving for
the sequel to the most talked about game of 2023.
Yet the greatest treasure
Gollum Resurrected.
Moria.
It's like a tower defense? Lord of the Rings?
Come, my fellow dwarves. Rally together. It's time we took back our home.
All right. Not interested in Lord of the Rings, but that's cool. You know, hopefully it's doing something better for Lord of the Rings fans than Gollum did, because they definitely didn't deserve that. Damn, the same commercials over again? Oh, that's right. This was tied. They were tied together.
All right, now we're going to look at an exciting new mobile game from a legendary franchise.
Final Fantasy for mobile? Of course Sephiroth has a phone. Is it a Sony Ericsson? What? So are there like 2 different graphical styles to this? Is there a more intimidating character name than Glenn? Ever Crisis. Cool. Also,
registration for Final Fantasy VII Ever
beta
Crisis
test is
just
now?
started,
It's a,
and you
yeah,
will
just
have
to
the
say
chance to
June
participate
8th.
in an upcoming closed beta test. Now, speaking of Final Fantasy, no. Today during Summer Game Fest, DoorDash has your back. You can get a free burrito.
Oh, that was
from Taco
good.
Bell using the code GameFest. Plus, get the chance to win a Final Fantasy 16 prize pack. DoorDash, stay in your game. Yep, we got you. All right. Now here's
You know,
a
that's what
look
those
at the game
Final
we
Fantasy
debuted
people
last
love,
year at
free
TGA.
burritos.
Banishers Ghosts of New Eden, the story of 2 ghost hunters in the haunted wilds of North America.
Life to the living. Death.
All right, so what do we got left? He said he's got some like secret thing at the end, that Fortnite thing he's mentioned a couple of times.
Vanishers.
Because we're what, an hour?
We end suffering for those who
getting close to an hour and 15 minutes in. Because an hour and 16 minutes in, but I was talking for a couple of minutes before we started. So, like I said, I don't know how long this was. I think last year's an hour and a half to an hour 45 minutes, was it?
On what killed me. I want to live.
As the man says, we face a choice, simple and awful. I banish you. Death to the dead. Do we kill? To be together again.
Or do we part forever?
Come out, wherever you are. Come on, show yourself.
Red.
Yeah, we got Scottish fantasy now. It's cool seeing Don't Nod do something quite different. Yakuza?
今回の指令はあなた好みの単純な力仕事です。ある人物を
If this is Yakuza, I mean, we are kind of due to start finding out about the next game.
コードネーム上流。
Yep.
大丈夫か。
Yakuza 7 was great.
トラブル発生。車はまだか。
到着まで3分。何があった？
お前らも今回り右すりゃ無事に帰れる。
Is this going to be like a more serious take, or are they just kind of
これから起きることは
acting like it?
全部お前らの選んだ結果だ。
Wait, is this the next Yakuza? Because they said that they were sticking with the turn-based. What the hell? Okay, this must be something different. That's cool looking. He can't hear you from that far away.
俺に名はない。
Like a dragon guide, a man who erased his name. Interesting. Okay. Cool. So is this because they can't? I think they can't keep doing Judgment, right? So is this kind of like their Judgment stand-in going forward, where they can kind of keep that classic Yakuza combat?
To just stand.
Adjusting morning wake up. Good morning, just Stan.
Base to capsule 12, come in. You there, Stan?
Green across the board. Looks like we're good.
I don't know why it just popped into my head when I saw this game because they are totally different. Whatever happened to that game that was like animated like the Wallace and Gromit stuff we saw a couple years ago?
What? How long has it been now?
3 years, 2 months and 17 days.
What sort of operation are they running down here? He shouldn't be here. Someone there? This doesn't make sense. Is someone else down here? No. Dad! Are you there?
Under the Waves. Okay. Coming out on everything. August 29th.
It's a beautiful new game, Under the Waves, and today, incidentally, is World Ocean Day. Fun fact. All right, next, Call of Duty.
Thanks, Jeff.
Well, there's a new Call of Duty coming this fall, along with Warzone Mobile. Today, we're going to give you the
Can't believe they're going back on that and doing a new Call of Duty this fall. Absolutely ridiculous, man. What a bait and switch. What an absolute bait and switch.
A castle, a soccer stadium, and an abandoned zoo. Yep, it's all happening. Check it out. Here you go.
I'd like to pick Call of Duty back up a little bit. I got into Season 3 a tad, but not too much. I'd like to get back into it. I don't know, maybe I'll try. I think I played like 2 games of Warzone since Modern Warfare 2 came out. It's just not for me. It's not that I don't like it, it's just I never think to myself, oh, you know, I want to go play a Battle Royale game. It's just, I don't know, I think my time with those kind of passed. But I mean, if they're going to do a new map, you know, I wouldn't mind checking it out. Looks like they're doing a boys crossover, which I believe Mortal Kombat is as well, because I think they announced, or it leaked, that Homelander was going to be in Mortal Kombat.
Next week. Today is a big day for video games, but also a huge day for Porsche. The iconic German automaker turned 75 years old today. And to celebrate their contributions in the automotive and gaming space, and we've all raced a 911 in some point at a game, Xbox has teamed up with Porsche for a limited edition run of 75 consoles inspired by 6 famous Porsche race cars. And I'm thrilled to debut the first design here today, inspired by the Porsche 963.
Apologize, my dog is going nuts.
At the 100th running of the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Let's take a look.
Checking my cameras outside, there's literally nothing going on. I have no idea what he's barking at. He acts like we're, you know, getting murdered over here. Interesting. Oh, good luck getting one of those.
And here it is, the Porsche Xbox Series X. These custom consoles are not for sale, but you can enter for a chance to win one right now at PorscheXboxSweepstakes.com. Make sure to stay tuned for the Porsche and Xbox social channels for additional opportunities to get your hands on these special consoles. All right, next. Phoenix Labs are building the next great entry into the cozy farm sim genre. We all like a cozy game inspired by classics like Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley. Previously announced for Nintendo Switch, there's now some exciting news for PC players too. Let's take a look at Fae Farm.
Dear friend, life in Azoria's been treating me well. Days pass so quickly. Before I know it, they turn into seasons.
I'd like to go back and give something like Harvest Moon a shot. I never really played any of those games. I tried playing Stardew Valley, but I couldn't figure it out. I always kept running into a brick wall
There's something more.
So I'd like to
itching to explore.
I'd like to try a nice farming game. I don't know if this is the one for me. This might be a little bit too on the fantasy side, but I could go back and maybe play like Harvest Moon 64 or something.
We can face anything. So, what do you say? There's so much yet to discover. Are you ready?
We promised variety. There it is, Fae Farm and Mortal Kombat in the same show, only at Summer Game Fest. Now, please welcome Ben Brode, Chief Development Officer and flannel enthusiast at Second Dinner, the developers behind the popular collectible card game Marvel Snap. What's up, Ben?
Hey.
Man, you guys have been on fire. Last time I saw you was at the Game Awards when you won Best Mobile Game. Seems like you've been very busy. We're excited about the
I know nothing about Marvel Snap outside of the fact that it's a competitive card game.
We've been doing a bunch of new features, some of the wildest cards we've ever made, and some new game modes. Yeah.
This guy is coked out of his fucking mind.
Certainly, yeah. I'm excited to announce.
Man, if Nick Cage is going to be at this thing, I got to out Nick Cage him.
Ever. We have a new game mode coming next week. It's Conquest mode. It's a great way to get a super competitive experience and some exciting new rewards. But you don't have to wait till next week. If you haven't tried Marvel Snap, go download it right now on your mobile device or early access on Steam.
All right, Ben. I love
Okay, so it's coming to Steam.
That's what I got.
That's you. You're made for YouTube. All
the
right,
only
well,
one
we
of these
heard
I
you
ever really
brought,
got into is I played a lot of Hearthstone when it first came out. I wasn't particularly good at it, but I played quite a bit of it.
I am incredible at card games, so I often win. But some people, and maybe you've had this experience, Jeff, some people lose.
Yeah. Hey, fair.
And I like to think it's because they suck. No offense, Jeff. But sometimes, sometimes it's because they might just be a little bit unlucky.
Cue the tape.
Oh, snap.
Oh, God.
Okay, I don't have an ideal hand of cards.
Hey, it's that guy that pops up in my YouTube recommendations all the time.
Future turns. Anyway, let's reveal the first.
He eats a lot of fast food.
The Moontis 1. Each player destroys their deck.
Okay, I guess I will work with what I have. I'll play Medusa on location number 2. She gets +2 power. And let's see the next location.
Clover Dangerfield has a 25% chance of destroying your cow.
Okay, well, I mean, 25% isn't that bad. And it's gone. Okay, well, I have some powerful cards in my hand, so I can just wait. Let's see the next location.
The Big Barn. Players cannot play 4, 5, or 6 cost cows.
You gotta be kidding me.
Also, if you don't play a card this turn, you have 0 friends.
No, you're just being mean.
Does that tie into anything, or are they just bringing it up that sometimes you get bad beats in card games?
Immortals of Avium from EA Originals and Ascendant, and the world premiere first look at Chapter 4, Season 3 of Fortnite Wilds. Now, if you're looking for the smartest way to level up your gaming this summer, compare top credit cards side by side with NerdWallet and start maximizing your cashback rewards on everything from Wi-Fi to headsets. Now, here's a look at King Arthur Legends Rise, a new cross-platform UE5 game for mobile and PC, a Fantasy Squad RPG adventure that is available to pre-register today.
Arthur, I have sacrificed everything to save your kind. Fight with honor. Vanquish the wicked.
Yeah, another 3-person game, generic fantasy setting. They all look exactly the same. Slow down, emotional song playing behind the trailer. I don't know. Show me the person out there that like watches this and is like, fuck, I can't wait to play that.
Wayfinders.
Do you remember the fall? The gloom descended on Skylight. You rallied to protect the beacon and paid a terrible price. You fell, and the world was broken. Remember who you were, who you are, and return to us.
This world needs champions.
Another super generic name. Hasn't the term founder already been used in a game? Is this that Fortnite thing? No, is it? Is Fortnite going Call of Duty? The Skullomania in Fortnite? Or I imagine the more likely, I was gonna say the more likely scenario is that was not Fortnite. Just stuff you could put into Fortnite.
Steve, seriously, you don't stand a chance.
Interesting. In about an hour. Okay. Stellaris Nexus.
What do you say, guys?
Interesting.
Good morning, scavenger. Scan your surroundings to retrieve and recycle anything that could be of value to Scavex.
Space trash scavenger.
Captain's log, stardate 43152.4.
I enjoy Paradox. This appears to be Star Trek. I enjoy Star Trek.
Cautiously entering hostile territory.
Well, I should say that I enjoy a particular version, particular flavor of Star Trek. Speaking of which, we play Star Trek Resurgence live on Saturday nights. Although this week I think we're playing Saturday afternoon. This is a 4X Paradox Star Trek game. Star Trek Infinite. Full reveal on Picard Day.
Hey,
I am interested. Hey!
It's Will Arnett here.
I assume this is about Sweet
My buddy
Twisted
Anthony
Metal.
Mackie and I have been working on this for some time now. We're really excited to share with you Twisted Metal, which is streaming only on Peacock starting July 27th. And I'm very excited to share a sneak peek of the character of Sweet Tooth, who I had the pleasure of voicing. Hope you enjoy it. Check it out.
Okay. Don't clap for that.
Who hasn't dreamt of duplicating oneself in order to multitask? This new hack and slash game with a tactical twist allows you to do just that. Brought to you from France, here's the world premiere reveal trailer of Lisfunga, the time shift warrior, coming later this year to PC.
Goddess of time.
I have the feeling the show is going to be longer than I initially thought. It is feeling a little, I don't know. Maybe I'm just tired, but this show does feel like it's maybe starting to drag a little bit. They've showed some cool stuff. Maybe it was just pacing. Maybe they need to spread things out a little bit. I don't know.
I rewind. I begin again, but with another me to fight with.
You're coming with me. You're not the only one who can be in multiple places at once.
I will become Legion and crush these demons. Onwards! I can feel that there are more.
All right.
Very cool independent game. All right, next up is a brand new IP.
It seems weird that he always needs to point out that it's an independent game.
First-person magic shooter called Immortals of Avium. It's fast and fluid. It's an FPS in a fantasy setting.
This is getting some good buzz, this game. I mean, it looks pretty cool. The writing seems terrible going off the trailer that we got, but
hey guys,
great to have you with us.
Thank you.
Gameplay looked
This is
neat.
such a cool game, super high production value, spectacular gameplay. Tell us about the guy you play. You're the main character, Jack, right?
Yes, I am playing the main character, Jack, as seen behind me. He's a battle mage that controls all 3 forms of magic, triple threat. He's brash, he's funny, but he gets the job done.
I always feel it's a little weird when you have these like fantastical games and they just have normal names.
So much action in it, you know, with all the spells, the spell casting, and the magic. What can you tell us about the story and sort of how this battle mage Jack comes in? He sort of becomes a battle mage, right?
Yeah, he kind of comes from nothing. He's I guess they call him a street rat, is what he was. But he, during a time of intense trauma, he summons the power to control magic. Becomes part of the Immortals, which is like the elite Navy SEAL squad of this world called Avium, and they are in the middle of an Everwar fighting for the control of magic.
Okay. You have a great cast. You, Gina Torres in it. Lots of amazing actors in this incredible, really high production value game that's coming out this summer. We don't have to wait long for it. And I know
I think it's middle of next month.
Share today, which is a gameplay sequence, which is one of the most epic sort of parts of the game, right?
Yeah. So this is a wild part of the game. This trailer is going to be showing you the Immortals and myself confronting Sandrak directly, who is the top villain of this game, and trying to end the Everwar. And it's taking place in like one of the most badass levels of a video game I've seen. We're battling on top of a 400-foot mech in the middle of the ocean as it moves around. It's wild, so let's take a look.
All right, let's take a look at some brand new gameplay from Immortals of Avium, which comes out this summer for PC, PS5, and Xbox. Thanks, Darren.
Thank you.
Sandrax literally pushed us to the edge. Everyone that can fight already is. And we're still losing.
Visual quality depends on your system. That's good.
What's our bearing, sir?
North by northeast, 5 knots.
We'll catch him, sir.
It's nice to see EA putting something out a little bit different, you know?
Get to the control room and protect Selko. Zendara and I will hold off the Rashanians down here.
Got it. Gotta get to the control room.
It seems like it's going in slow motion. This looks nice. These effects are cool. Maybe a little bit too much going on with all the bright color. Seems like you kind of lose track of things a little bit. Yeah, definitely a lot happening on the screen. Are those like locking on? It was a little hard to, it seems like they might be. One battle mage.
I want to fight this war
named Jack.
You're what's called a triarch. The Pentasod has gifted you with the ability
The
to
Pentasod.
manifest all 3 colors of magic.
Do fantasy authors just sit around? It's like, what are random prefixes and suffixes I could just mash together?
We're only going to win this one together.
These are my new words.
Sigil up.
About a month and a half, a little bit more till that comes out.
Love that we get to show you guys so much amazing raw gameplay today, and that game looks incredible. Coming out this summer from Ascendant and EA. Now, one game that constantly reinvents itself is Fortnite, and tomorrow,
all right, so if they're getting into this, maybe we're starting to wind up
Summer
here.
Game Fest is debuting the cinematic trailer to preview the season. The center of the island has collapsed, revealing a vast.
I have never played Fortnite.
And of course, there's a whole new Battle Pass lineup where you can unleash the power. Yes.
I just, I
Cybertron.
don't know, just
Here we
never got
go.
into it. You know, I played stuff similar. You know, I played PUBG, played Apex, played Warzone, just never played Fortnite. I know these days it's like crammed full of like licensed characters, right? Like John Wick's in it. I think like Darth Vader. There's like Marvel characters. Like they've done an amazing job getting like cross promotion with this game. I mean, it's still, I think it's probably still the most played game in the world. I have to imagine, most popular game. I feel like I hear about Fortnite quite a bit, but like stuff like League of Legends that was really big, I don't really feel like I hear about it too much anymore, unless it's like the next accusation coming out from, you know, people that worked at the studio. Transformers. All right, that makes sense. There's a new Transformer movie coming out. It's a little weird that he's, I mean, I understand because of the game he has to be, but it's a little weird he's like in scale with humans.
Fortnite Wilds launches tomorrow. Well, finally, guys, it's time to get to our grand finale.
All right, what we got?
It is a deep honor.
Last year's was Last of Us.
What you're about to
or
see
like
is
the
a
next,
world premiere
like the
trailer that gives
multiplayer
us
thing.
A new look at an expansive world we can't wait to explore again. This game comes from a studio that surprised the world and redefined the RPG genre with its iconic characters and rich storytelling. And I want to thank them for this trailer for one of gaming's most anticipated
Is this like
upcoming
fucking Mass
releases.
Effect?
The rumors were true.
What? I have no idea what this.
We're still here at the scene of this
Oh,
terrible disaster.
okay.
Caused by a massive tornado which
For a
swept
grand
through Sector
finale,
0,
I guess.
1,
I
and
don't know.
2. Amidst the wreckage of the expressway, search and rescue operations.
I feel
are
bad that I
already
fell
in
off so
progress.
hard on part 1 of this. It was so bloated to just like, you know, they were trying to put too much into this.
Just look at it all. It's so green.
I am really curious because there was an article or interview that came out earlier this week where people making this game were like, yeah, you don't need to play the first part of the remake. And I was just like, how do you not need to know what happened in that game for this game to make sense?
Past 5 years. Where's he been? And you're asking me this? This is gonna sound crazy.
This looks really nice.
As far as I know, Cloud was never in Nibelheim 5 years ago.
The life stream. It is the very essence of our star. The blood coursing through its planetary veins.
According to Hojo, they're connected to Sephiroth. Shadows of the Mad, I believe he called them.
Sephiroth was in Midgard. We fought him. Whatever happened, he's alive.
But
Why come back now? After 5 years, doing who knows what.
Well now, think we woke it up.
Angered it, more like.
Feast your eyes on the Turk's latest and greatest, Elena.
She may be new, but she's still a Turk.
I'm curious how much they changed the gameplay for this. I really like the way that the first part played, but you know, they made a lot of changes when they were developing Final Fantasy 16. I wonder if any of that bled over.
They say she's a monster, that she can peer inside you, into the very depths of your soul, that she can become those you hate, those you fear, those you love.
Reunion.
You murdered my dad! You burned my village!
You know that I killed her. So, who is she?
Cool. What are we getting next fall, next spring? Well, okay, early. On 2 discs. All right.
There you have it. That was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth coming early 2024 to PlayStation 5. Nomura-san, thank you so much. All right, that's going to do it for Summer Game Fest, our live show.
You know, a good show. I think it dragged in parts, but you know,
Stay tuned this weekend for
it was
updates on many
solid.
more games during
Mortal
SGF
Kombat looks
Play
great.
Days, a
Spider-Man,
hands-on
of
event
course,
for
I'm
media
super
here in
pumped
Los
for.
Angeles, including Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, as well as the Xbox
Yeah, so the next thing up for us
Showcase
will
on
be
Sunday.
Xbox
Right now,
on
though,
Sunday,
stay
as
tuned for
Keely
Day of
just
the Dead
said.
from I Am
We'll
Double
be
Fine, which celebrates
live streaming that
independent game
at
culture with
1
a
o'clock
number of
Eastern
new game
on
reveals
Sunday
over the
here
next
on the
hour.
channel.
We'll see you this summer, later this summer on August
okay.
22nd for Gamescom opening night.
Okay, so
live
Gamescom's in
Germany,
August, okay.
And again in December when we come together here in Los Angeles to celebrate 10 years of the Game Awards. Thanks
Cool.
for watching, everyone. We'll see you soon.
All right. So yeah, just check to see if there's anything at the end. I don't think there will be, but skip ahead a little bit. Yeah, there's nothing. Okay. So yeah, I'll have my thoughts you know, in a more presentable fashion in next week's episode of Perfect Reload Weekly. Like I said, on Sunday we're live streaming the Xbox showcase. So check that out. Other than that, on the channel this week, Saturday, we'll be streaming more Star Trek Resurgence as we make our way through that game. But that'll do it for today. Thanks for hanging out, and you know, drop a comment below. What got you excited out of this? There was some pretty wide variety of games that got announced today, and you know, games that maybe we knew about, they got a deeper look. So let me know what you're interested in playing, and take it easy. See you soon.